Welcome to Dot Life, Dorchester's hyper-local source of news, commentary, and analysis in podcast format. We are here for the news segment with Bill Forry. Hey, Bill.
Hey, like a bad penny. I keep turning up on this show.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
I am actually decked out today.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got the swag. I can't wait to get mine.
You got to pick up your shirt.
Got to get to the local hands.
Yep.
I heard they're the exclusive purveyor of Dorchfest gear.
Yep. They are our merch source. Are you getting a hat
Good
too?
spot. Yeah. I mean, whatever you guys have on tap,
I love it.
I'm going to peel off with it. It's Dorchfest
Tomorrow,
weekend. It's Dorchester Day weekend, And I did not wear Dorchester gear for the Dorchester Day weekend show.
Dead gear.
I wore dead gear, yeah. I had to give the sports teams a rest. I'm doing nothing but bringing them bad mojo, so.
Yeah, I think it is your fault, actually.
Yep. I've been getting a lot of flack, probably thanks to you and your growing legion of fans for Dot Life Pod.
I'm trying to bring everybody to the Buffalo side of things. So Bills, Sabres. Oilers look like they might be in the final, and it's definitely going to be the Panthers. So all you Marchand fans I don't know, are people mad at Marchand or are they happy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. I think people are just salty in general at the moment in Boston sports land. But
yeah.
He's still a very popular figure, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well,
he's missed.
Yasser has a Marchand jersey. So.
You do? Yeah. All right. Well, you can still break that out in Dorchester
Team
Day.
Canada,
that would work.
though, not Boston Bruins.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm all about Team Canada these days. Let's go.
Same.
Let's go.
Elbows up.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Dorchester weekends. Let's real briefly touch on that. Who are you looking forward to seeing at Dorchfest?
Ray Liriano.
Yeah.
Ray Liriano, who's
1
on
1:00, 30 Beaumont.
Yeah, he's on the cover of the special section of the Dorchester Day Reporter this week, all about Dorchfest, but of course also about the record company, which are hosts here at Dot Life Pod, and becoming really a huge force in the music scene in Boston. Yeah. And Ray is a denizen of this building and is recording and making music and artwork here. And yeah, like you said, he's playing. I think he's performing at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yep.
Yeah, so that's a don't miss for me. I really want to see Eric Royer, who was on your show, this show last week, and like blew my mind with his ability to play all these instruments at once. He's a one-man band.
Can I tell you, I had those songs, because I did the editing, I had those songs in my head for days. I thought Gasser was going to kill me. Like, stop singing Shady Grove.
Yeah. By the way, a little bit of some darkness there behind some of the lyrics as I picked up. I was like, what's going on?
Like, this was way danker than I remember.
Yeah. It sounds upbeat, but it's
really murdery.
Somebody's getting killed in all the songs.
Yeah.
But he was awesome, and I want to see him like again in a crowd with a crowd responding to him.
He's at 33 Caruth.
Nice.
So,
There's some other performers whom I can't remember. I can't keep track of everybody. There's like 40 plus performers, I think, and
almost 60.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And there's a family event this year.
Yes.
Where they're blocking off Beaumont Street.
So Beaumont will be closed the entire day. And then we'll have family events from 12 to 1, and there will be a lot of those on Beaumont, but there will also be family events on Westmoreland and at the church. Holland Tech Band is playing, the high school band.
So like the brass, like you bring in some horns into the picture.
Yep. And we have a drumline from English High School in JP, so they're going to kick things off. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to, man, I shouldn't even talk about the weather, but it's looking good. And like
it was not looking good yesterday.
It wasn't, but now it is. And I know that we still got a couple of days to go, so whatever. But, you know, and Sunday's looking great too for that other minor event in the neighborhood, Dorchester Day Parade, 119th edition of the Dorchester Day Parade, which, you know, starts on Richmond Street. So, you know, I missed my Memorial Day Parade, Erin, as you know, and we're working to get that back. I got a call today. It's in the works.
Good.
But the parade lines up right in front of my house, starting at like 10 a.m.
Okay.
So we get like 5 hours of Dot Day Parade action in front of our place. And then the main event on Dorchester Ave. So 1 o'clock on Sunday for everybody who's keeping track.
I'll actually be in the parade this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm walking with Team Brandy. Very excited.
Brandy Fluker-Reed.
Brandy Fluker-Reed for
my state representative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not mine, though.
No, but she's
Sadly,
close, right?
yeah.
You're like right on the borderland. Who's your state
Yeah.
rep? Russell
Why
Holmes?
are you asking me that?
Oh, Dan Hunt or Russell Holmes? It's
Dan
one or the
Hunt.
other. Okay,
It's Dan
Dan
Hunt.
Hunt.
Yeah.
You can't go
She,
wrong, by the way. Those are three solid choices, and I'm not just saying that because they're all probably going to be in my backyard on Sunday afternoon at some point. But as you will be, I hope.
She's so great though. Even though she's out of our district now, she just shows up. She's always there. So
I heard she was just in Poland
was she?
as part of a legislative trip, so
Oh.
ask her about
I
that.
think she was in Jamaica too. She gets around.
She does. And she still holds it down in the district, so
sure
good
does.
for her.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job. That was the district that my wife Linda held,
Yeah.
a number of years ago now, but not that long ago. And it's a great district because you get the Neponset River, and you got I think she still has a part of Milton in her seat.
Yeah.
And Mattapan, so there's a lot going on.
I think I texted you this, but every time I cross gravel or granite now at that light, I'm like, "Thank you, Linda Forry. Thank you for getting that light."
Yeah, that way we can all cross the street
I don't
safely.
know how anybody crossed.
It's
before.
still like dodgy, even
Yeah.
with the light there. It's like, okay, are people going to
it's
stop or
Boston.
what? We're talking about by the drawbridge on Granite
Yeah,
Avenue,
yeah.
right? High traffic area these days. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're excited. Dot Day weekend. Thank you for starting Dorchfest. You and a team of people, but Rachel, who's your neighbor and close friend, I know,
Yeah.
who's been involved in now Greater Ashmont Main Streets, carrying the ball big
And the
time with
Ashmont
Ashmont
Adams Neighborhood Association really invested in that heavily when it was nothing, and they
Yeah.
believed in the idea. So gotta appreciate
Puts
them.
the neighborhood on a whole different platform
Yeah.
citywide, because
Yeah.
now everybody's seeing we talked about this, the billboards and everything, but folks coming from all points in the compass to Ashmont Station, hopefully, and taking the T,
Yeah.
or riding their blue bike or whatever they're going to do to get there. Hopefully not parking on with too much density around Caruth Street, because Caruth needs to be like a safe zone that day.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't drive on Caruth if you can
If
avoid
you can
it.
avoid driving in the neighborhood in general, just get out and walk. It's going to be lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be.
All right. Well, let's talk about some other news.
Right.
How many times have you been to Milkweed so far, Bill?
I don't know. I've been there twice on official business, which means I ate lunch
I
there.
like that part of your job.
Yeah, that's. Don't tell too many people, please. It's a great perk.
The perk, yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about Milkweed, which is the new restaurant on Marcy Boulevard. It's
The old Boston.
well, it used to be a Boston Market,
Okay.
and that's been empty. That space at the corner has been empty now for like 5 years, anyways.
Oh, wow.
Pre-COVID, for sure.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, when that strip mall first opened, it was an Einstein Brothers Bagel Company. I covered the opening of that one too. That was a while ago, but this is the new version of the space. It's called Milkweed. It's by the guys who used to own the Blarney Stone at Phil's Corner, and many of us know those guys very well. They're terrific neighbors, and they were publicans. Now they're restaurateurs fully. Dave Cawley and Ben Johnson, who are now the owners of Milkweed.
Both
Marcy.
locations?
Yeah, they own the
Okay.
one in Mission Hill as well. A
Okay.
lot of folks beyond Dorchester may know the Mission Hill location.
Food is
Tremont Street.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a big brunch spot.
Yeah.
They do a big,
It's a small brunch spot.
yeah, right. It is
But,
kind of
yeah.
cozy.
Yeah.
The
And
Marcy,
so popular. So it
that must
definitely
be
gets full.
that must
Yeah.
have something to do with it.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing. They're really into it's really a foodie place.
Yeah.
Like that's the trade. It's not a bar or pub. Like
Right.
we got great options on the pub scene nowadays in
Yeah.
Dorchester, which is awesome too. But this is really more breakfast and lunch spot.
Yeah.
They don't even have an alcohol license yet. They
Okay.
expect that they will. They're applied for one of the new licenses that's out there for
Okay.
for full alcohol license, and I think they'll get it
Yeah.
probably.
What's the inside space like? Is it big?
Yeah, it's 77 seats. It's
Oh, that's nice.
pretty spread out. So Linda and I sat in a booth today.
Okay.
So we're kind of checking out all the different corners of this corner spot, and very comfortable. A lot of foot traffic in and out, and people you're going to see people you know. It's a neighborhood place. Clearly, there were lots of retirees in there, families, people with kids. High school kids who were clearly out for the year already, or just graduated
Yeah.
and having
Or cutting class. Tough to say.
yeah, they might have been doing that too. Having lunch together, and very friendly spot. The menu is about 80% of what you would get at Mission Hill,
Okay.
from what I've been told. It's, as I said, breakfast and lunch right now. Eventually, they plan to add dinner.
Good.
And have more of kind of a date night feel when it gets darker. But it's a very bright space. It's Dave and Ben told me, they deliberately held out as they were scouting for locations for a new restaurant for a corner spot, because that's what they have in Mission Hill.
Yeah.
They said they love it, the natural light. It just works for them. It fits exactly what they were looking for. And it has diner feel to it as well, because there's 2 countertop spaces where you can sit facing the kitchen or facing a smoothie bar, basically, our little cafe section.
Yeah.
So it's got plenty of different corners for everybody. You could sit and bring a laptop in and have your breakfast on the counter, or you could have. I saw a table set up for it looked like a dozen covers for a big party coming in. So they can do a lot of different things in there. But it's a huge buzz. We posted something about it online, I think on Saturday or Sunday this past weekend, and it took off.
Yeah.
People were very excited. A lot of people have been watching that space and wondering, first of all, what is it? Because milkweed, few people mentioned they thought it was a dispensary, a cannabis dispensary. And if they weren't familiar with the Mission Hill spot.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else who kind of knew this was what's coming were like, when is it going to open?
Yeah.
And it's here.
As soon as the sign went up, I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's such a great spot. So we could walk there. That's amazing.
And a lot of people can drive there who are coming into the city from the South Shore. So they're actually opening for breakfast at 5:15 a.m., which is an ungodly hour from my book. But they're going to capture, I think, a good trade of people coming into the city.
Yeah.
And it's smart.
Is there decent parking there?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a strip mall that also has the City of Boston Credit Union and a
dance school, right? Is there
it's a barber shop, actually. It's one of the chain barber shops. I can't remember the name. But yeah, there's a good, it's Marcy Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's the route into the city if you're not taking the expressway.
Right.
So they're going to do well. They're going to do very well
That's
in
awesome.
that space. So.
They're not the only new one, though.
Yeah. The cover of the Reporter this week, we have 3 restaurants that we're talking about, one of which is also now open, called Gourmet Creole. It's on Blue Hill Avenue. It's in Mattapan. It's take a left on Blue. It's a few blocks down.
I think you teased this a couple weeks ago.
We did. We've been waiting for this because the owner, who's a Haitian-American entrepreneur, she grew up in Miami. Her parents own a restaurant in Miami that's very well known called Gourmet Creole as well. And her name is Natalie LaCour. She's the woman who's opened this new restaurant on Blue Hill Avenue. And she's also going to open one on Washington Street in Common Square, probably later this summer or early fall.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize there were going to be 2 new ones. Because they have a truck, too, right?
They have Gourmet Creole is a food truck that people may know. And I think it may have been at Dorchfest at one point.
Yeah.
Definitely makes the rounds across the city. And it's Haitian cuisine. It's a great idea. She does a fabulous job with the food and also the colors. And she's got this kind of pink fluorescent color to her food truck and also to her decor here. And she's wearing a very pink dress and outfit on the cover of the Reporter. So she's got a theme. Natalie knows what she's doing. She knows how to coordinate. Yeah, she's got pink scissors even. I didn't notice that.
So you, I would imagine, eat a decent amount of Haitian food.
Yes.
What's your recommended dish for folks who are trying it for the first time?
I would probably go with some form of it's called griot. It's like a fried meat. So griot beef, which is like a fried beef, or I think I probably like the pork the best, the fried pork. So I would go with that. And rice, there's a dish called dirigeon, which is a mushroom rice, which is kind of the best rice, I think, in the world, actually. I mean, I've been to Caribbean. I've been to Haiti, actually, and eaten there. The food in Haiti is the best in the Caribbean, in my view. I'm going to get some angry messages over that. But
Jamaicans
hey, listen,
are gonna just
not from my
revolt.
family. Everybody, the Haitians know what I'm talking about. Here, dirigeon and tasso beef. I like the goat too. So goat is a delicacy there for sure. And then fried plantains all day long.
Yeah.
With
sweet is different.
Sweet
than fried,
plantains,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
They boil them or fry them. I like the fried ones.
Yeah.
And then if you put there's a spicy, sort of garnish you put on it called pickles, which is it has a kick to it. but she has all of that stuff at Gourmet Creole.
Awesome.
And this is a fast casual restaurant. It's not going to be like your Milkweed where you have 77 covers. You're going to go in probably, there's a few seats. It's more of a to-go spot. But the one in Common Square does have seating and is going to be more of a restaurant style with probably an alcohol license as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's to come. And then the other new spot that isn't open yet, but we're pretty excited about, and Seth Daniel broke the news on this week, is called Lisboa Cafe. It's going to be on Dorchester Ave, just beyond Savin Hill Avenue as you're going north on Dot Ave. There's a new building there that is replacing a block that was kind of derelict and empty for 20 years. Used to be a pizza and sub shop called Theo's. People in that side of Dorchester Avenue know what I'm talking about. It's been like a shell of a building for years and years and years. And now there's a new 3-story building with commercial space on the corner. And above is condos, I believe, or apartments. But on the first floor, we're going to have a new Portuguese restaurant.
That's cool. That's a new one.
Yeah, it is.
We don't have Portuguese.
I don't think so. I mean, so the owner of this new restaurant, her name is Raquel Semedo. She's actually of Cape Verdean descent. She's Cape Verdean, but grew up in Portugal. And so she has this blend of cultures going on that she's really excited about bringing both Portuguese, the bakery especially, the baked goods from, a Portuguese bakery that you might think about in the south coast of Massachusetts. We don't really have something
I think there's one in
like that.
Brookline maybe that has a Portuguese bakery, and that's all they sell is I forget what those pastries are called.
Yeah, I know what you mean too. I don't know the name, but we don't have it in Dot.
No,
that's why this is exciting. It's also
going to have very few styles of food we don't have. So I love that they're adding the gaps, filling the gaps.
It's probably going to not be open until like August, September,
okay,
from what Seth reported this week. There's a beautiful photo of Raquel on the cover, but behind her you can see the walls aren't done. So we know it's not completely ready, but people are stoked about this, and it's one of 3 restaurants, but there's other stuff going on. And part of, I think, the background to this is the liquor license issue.
Yeah.
Because all of them have mentioned in one form or another they're seeking this new license. It gives people a little spur, I think, to maybe have the vision and the gumption to open a restaurant in the city.
Well, you're going to make more in margins on drinks, so it's more of a safety net, right? Like the ingredients for drinks don't go up and down as volatilely as food does, and I think you make more money on drinks, so it's kind of
Yeah,
helpful.
I mean, I don't have a huge insight on the restaurant business from my history, but people I've talked to, I mean, the alcohol side of it is where they can make their money.
Yeah.
And I think there's been some discussion, we've discussed on this show before, about Mattapan not having a critical mass of liquor licenses yet. Even though they've been on offer there, people aren't grabbing them up.
Yeah.
And so there's other issues there with insurance and just other issues that come up with alcohol and having to worry about monitoring people too.
Right.
But it's definitely part of the business plan for a lot of the places that we're seeing come up along the spine of Dorchester Ave. There's others that are still not quite ready to talk about yet that are within a couple of blocks of where Lisboa is going to go. So Dorchester Ave's showing some life.
Well, your recommendations are definitely absorbed by this podcast host. We have been talking about going to Ballet because you've mentioned it.
Ballet is the best.
Now you want to go to Ballet.
Now I do want to go there. It might still be open once we're done.
We'll get you out of here quick. So your staffer.
Yeah, Cassie McNeely. She's the best.
She got some culture in this week.
She did. She covered the world premiere of the St. Brendan's Drama Club's production of Wicked.
Wow. That sounds cool.
She came back. I've never seen Cassie's, by the way, a great young reporter on our staff. She's covered a lot of different kinds of things from politics to sports. She's a great hockey player herself, collegiate athlete.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She played hockey at Trinity, and she comes from a boxing family. Her uncle, Peter McNeely, was a pro boxer, many people will know. But I never saw her so excited about a story as when she came back from watching the girls of the St. Brendan's Drama Club and their Wicked production. I mean, you can't get a better name for a Boston show either. But this was the idea of one of the girls herself. I think she's 11 or 12 years old, and she came up and she pitched this idea to her teachers. Actually, she's 10 years old, Philomena Mulcahy, and she actually wrote the principal and the vice principal and said, "Hey, we want to put on Wicked. Let's do this." And so it was her idea to do it, and then she was cast as Gilda, one of the main characters in the show, and then she had some unfortunate mishap and she couldn't perform. She had like an injury to her arm.
Oh.
And one of the other little girls in the cast took her spot, I guess.
Okay.
What do they call that when you have a
understudy?
Understudy.
Yeah.
So this is pretty sophisticated drama club at St. Brendan's. They have
And how old are
understudies.
these kids?
Like 10, 11, 12.
That's cool.
Yeah. All girls in the cast, and but a huge crowd for them of all the students and parents who showed up in the gym. This story was really cool for me because I used to do school theater at St. Gregory's back in the day, a long time ago. And it's such a, like, I don't know, formative childhood experience.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the sports are key, and CYO basketball and all the different things that you do as a kid growing up in the city. But school theater for a lot of us was also like a big piece of it.
Yeah.
And to see these younger kids coming up with their own show and singing, Popular at the top of their lungs in the school gym, it's just like, I don't know, there's something about that just resonates. A lot of us of my generation and later ones, grew up performing in the gymnasiums of Dorchester.
Yeah.
And to see them do it. So I was excited to put this in the paper this week. Cassidy did a great job covering it. So check it out. It's in this week's Reporter.
My niece's high school did Wizard of Oz. So I think there's with Wicked coming out, there must be a renewed focus on
something going on here. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a great show. I did see Wicked down in New York
on
Broadway with my daughter Madeline like now 10 years ago or so. Yeah, it was awesome.
But was that when Idina Menzel was?
Yeah, may have been. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think she had already moved on because she's the big name from Frozen, right?
Yeah.
So
I think she played Glinda.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I don't know much about Wicked. I read the book and I thought the book wasn't very good, but I've heard the show is actually better than the book. So.
Well, Philomena Mulcahy and her team at St. Brendan's may be the next names you hear.
All right. I'll keep an eye. That's a pretty distinctive name. So.
It is, yeah.
We had a candidate forum. Moving on to what I think will be a recurring topic over the summer is elected news.
We've got a lot of city politics news in this week's edition. In addition to covering the forum that happened at Hibernian Hall in Roxbury last Thursday evening.
District 7 candidates.
It was District 7 and at-large. And all of the at-large council candidate hopefuls showed up, except for one. There was one gentleman who wasn't there.
What are we up to for at-large?
We have 9 candidates on the ballot. So there's definitely going to be a preliminary election in Boston. There was some confusion about that in the last week or two. I think people got ahead of themselves a little bit and said, "Oh, there's definitely
only 2 last time we talked about this. I think maybe 3.
There were. Right now, we have 4 candidates who made the ballot for mayor. So, in addition to Josh Kraft and Mayor Wu, there's Domingos de Rosa, who used to live in Dorchester, lives in Hyde Park now. Who's running? He's run in the past for city council. He made the ballot, and so did a guy named Robert Capucci, who's run in the past, somewhat of a perennial candidate citywide or for mayor. But those 2 gentlemen making the ballot ensure that there'll be a citywide preliminary election. And because there's 9 candidates for at-large council, there'll definitely be an at-large preliminary as well. At the district level, not everybody seemingly will have an opponent. I at one point thought that could happen, but District 4 and District 5 locally, and District 7, of course, will have competitive elections. District 3, John Fitzgerald looks like he won't have an opponent now after all.
I'm surprised.
There were 2 people collecting signatures, but apparently didn't make the ballot.
And that deadline is over, right?
The deadline to submit is over. Technically, the city election department could still be counting, but because the district seats, you only need 200 signatures.
They should be done by now.
They should be done by now. It's been more than a week, so it's he's probably safe, which I'm sure he's like wiping the brow.
Well, to your point, last time we talked about this, now he can have a summer with his family, right? He doesn't have to
the
worry
whole
too
Fitzgerald clan can breathe a little bit easier, although, knowing him and him, he'll be out there working hard and hitting the parade and Dorchfest and whatnot. It's a different level of angst when you got, people running against you.
Yeah.
Mayor Wu knows that experience now with 3 candidates, and especially the Josh Kraft side is pouring a lot of money into attack ads really right now, and very critical ads, and they're going back and forth. I mean, she can give as good as she takes. So I'm not saying that's an unfair thing to do. It's just, it is what it is. It's going to be a hot election cycle. But the forum that you mentioned that we covered, we had 2 Boston University journalism students cover it, and they did a great job. We also, in this week's report, have more letters from candidates, because we invited all the candidates who make the ballot to write us a letter explaining why they were doing this.
Okay.
And most of them have responded. We couldn't even fit them all in this week. We have 2 pages of letters from at-large and District 7 candidates.
Your paper is over 50 pages this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 56 pages. Who said print is dead? This is a week where that whole theory of print being dead is in question. But this is our biggest edition of the year by like times 3.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
And you had to bring in your proofs.
Yeah, the paper's still like getting distributed and hopefully getting into stores and institutions as we speak, but hadn't quite reached my door yet. So yeah, and you can read it on your laptop, as everybody can. We don't charge for people to read our content online. So everybody can go to .news.com and read the whole thing. But to read it in paper form, you can pick it up at stores, and there's about 100 places in the neighborhood now you can get it. But they'll read the letters to the editor. I thought, my observation, and a couple of the other editors with me agreed, quality, most of them are high quality explanations of what they're thinking, why they're doing this, and what they're proposing to do.
That's great to see.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your coverage on this stuff, and thank you again for supporting both the podcast and Dorchfest and Dot Day.
That's what we do.
We're indebted to you.
Super excited. I mean, we're indebted to you for getting Dorchfest launched and continue to promote it. And the podcast has become a huge hit. I was just telling you off screen, I'm already running into people just at the market at Milkweed, which I'm spending a lot of time in, who are fans. And so congrats, you're developing a great audience.
That's a testament to our listeners who care about stuff that happens in the neighborhood. So that's good to hear.
They do.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you out there.
Yeah.
See everybody out there. Have fun.
Thanks,
Be
Bill.
safe.